reason why we don't start a bit earlier. I know Chris is a hard stop in about an hour. And yeah, I'd love to get the show on the road. Hello, everybody. Chris, welcome. If you want to get comfy in the arena, audience members, Chris, could you please give us a quick background of yourself, your career trajectory, and then how you ended up working in the crypto industry? And we can jump right into the project as well. And thanks for pinning that to the top.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me, by the way. So I guess to summarize, I've been an artist, a pixel artist for about 20 years now. I just kind of like always made fun stuff for fun, just like lots of cats a lot of the time. And 12 years ago, I ended up creating what ended up being NYAN Cat, which is still one of the craziest moments of my life. A few years ago, I heard about how artists could be like empowered with NFTs and just everything out there. Oops, 1 second. My alarm's going off. All right. Yeah. So, and I was like, you know what? This is awesome because this whole time, NYAN Cat's kind of like always existed like everywhere, and everybody has been using it for everything, which is awesome. But I never really saw anything from it like in terms of like proper attribution. So when I found out that like artists can totally do that kind of stuff, I really just started like looking into it. And I would say, I mean, it's about 2 years now since I began, so it's been a really crazy experience, like seeing everything evolve. It's I don't know, but it's pretty fun here.
Right on. And it seems like a lot of people dive into this industry through NFTs, figuring out the different ways that you can monetize NFTs and even reach a broader audience through NFTs. Can you give us a quick background of NYAN Cats, what inspired the project, and then jump into the ecosystem that you've built? I don't know too much about it, and it looks very interesting. I'm here on the website just scrolling around, but I'd love to hear from your own words what you're building and what kind of vision you have going forward.
Yeah, sure. So it's been such a crazy like evolution of how I've done things in the NFT space. Way back then, 2 years ago, it was all about one of ones. So I released the original one of one NFT on February 11th, 2021, and and then after that, like I started doing some more one of ones, and then I realized, you know what, like first of all, I should like look into getting smart contracts. So I did that, and then I also looked into collections, which I always thought was cool because like my one of ones were always. Oh, I see your hand up. Is everything good?
No, you can go for it. Go for
Oh,
it,
okay,
Chris.
cool.
Andrew
Okay, just a
Porteous,
second. All right.
he's going to jump in.
I'm just saying because yesterday I was like rugging really bad, so I just had a little trauma on there. No, but I did collections, which at the time was in the like one of one realm, where like if you didn't have a one of one, some people were like, why would you collect these? So it was kind of like difficult trying to like get collectors on all that kind of stuff. But I've just noticed like a trend recently with like especially with open editions that people love to collect collectibles like that because it kind of makes like one NFT fractionable, and multiple people can own it, and then from there like people can spread words, make memes, and just have fun knowing that they were able to get into like a cool piece at a great price. But yeah, that's kind of, I mean, there's been so much more to the stuff I've done. I've done some amazing collaborations. I've done some crazy side projects, and I've kind of like, oh, I've also done photography. Like I've dipped into almost every field that NFT space has had to offer. And I don't know, it's just really fun. Seeing what can be done with this kind of technology.
Chris, first and foremost, we appreciate your time. We know it's very valuable to you. I'd also like to address that I have been saying the word Nyan Cat the wrong way the entire time, probably for the last couple of years. I have been calling it Nyan, and it was literally 2 minutes ago when I realized I've been calling it the wrong thing. But Chris, nor here nor there. When you created this great brand, right? When you created, like, take us through the moment of when you created it, and did you know that you had something special at that moment, or was it only until after you knew that it was going to be something very special?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Honestly, like when I created it, there was no brand in mind. And for you to call it a brand kind of like, makes kind of like, wow. Because like, back then I was just drawing it just to draw. And I posted it on Twitter, I posted it on Tumblr, and then that was it. Like I just kind of like posted it on the internet just because I thought it was a fun piece that I drew. And then like I remember going to sleep and then like waking up and I already had like 100 emails ready to go. So I mean, like it kind of evolved organically with the internet, because the internet was kind of what was making it popular. So like it's been kind of a wild experience. Like, there's been ups and downs, but honestly, I've always felt that Nyan Cat like belongs on the internet. But like, whenever I do stuff out here, I'm just like, hey, if you want to support me, then this is, these are my collections, and this is all the stuff that I've done. I have a lot of fun making all of these things. Sometimes it takes a lot of like mental toll to make them, because like pixel art isn't easy. But it's such a good challenge, and I feel like every time that I make something new, I try to make myself like push just a little bit further to just better myself. So I don't know. I'm pretty proud of everything that I've done out here. I mean, it's just wild, but honestly, it's just one of the craziest times ever.
Yeah, I think I called it a brand because I've taken a step back and I've kind of known about the cat for a while. I don't want to fumble the name again. I've known about the cat for a while, and I think that people become to embody the brand that you've created, and vice versa. The brand is you. You are the brand. Essentially, is what it was. But Chris, take us through this journey, right? So there was a point in time when obviously the cat was created prior to blockchain. Did you have an aha moment that kind of thought, oh, I should put this on the blockchain so it lives forever? Did you kind of have one of those things, or you got into crypto and then thought, hey, what the hell? Let's make this an NFT.
No, well, actually, it was like it was just that. It was like me going, hey, like if I can kind of become an artist in this space. At the time when I joined, I really didn't know what I was doing. I barely knew how to make a wallet, and actually like had to get walked through to like to upload the NFT, and the process for it. But like I don't know, like I. I went in just kind of blindly, but with an artist perspective, going, look at all this really cool art. Like, I'm ready to make some too. Like, I remember going to like Rarible. Like, I remember Rarible was like kind of like the place. I mean, it still is, but like, it was like one of the only places. And I was like, this art's so cool. Like, I want to make some of this stuff. And then I found like Foundation, and then I found Super Rare, and like I found all these awesome art galleries with people like curating their stuff. And I don't know, it's just like always excited me. Like, I've always been into art, and I've always been into memes. So this kind of just felt like a great place, because it's like art, technology, memes, and just culture, like just like super compressed in this like crazy little Twitter bubble that we got here.
And I do see here that there are 666 owners. Well, what's the idea behind that number? And also, when did Genesis happen? What was the minting cost? And what are some real world utilities that holders get?
Wait, so we're at 666? That's so funny. No, that is like pure organic growth. Like, like that is literally a lucky number of people that have just decided to collect Nyan Cats. So, and, the Nyan Cat collection is actually pretty small. I want to say it's about, I think, less than 3,000 pieces total. So like the number count, was is low because of that. But I kind of enjoy that those pieces are kind of remain a little exclusive, because they're just like, I don't know, they're like really precious to me. So that's how I keep them that way. And I kind of lost my train of thought on the other question.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just curious to know if there are utilities that come with each NFT.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, these things. No, I've actually like done some really cool stuff in the NFT space, like meeting, networking, and making some new friends. And a lot of the times, like these people like have access to games and like token link technology. So like I've actually had some really great fun working with people like Webland or Turf NFT or the Central Land to like add utility to each piece. So like for example, if you have a Nyan Cat and you hop on to like Turf or the Central Lands Club NYAN Cat, you can have a NYAN Cat that comes with you, or like or or with the GI Toads, they have like technology where you can go to Turf and you can play as GI Toads. So I love that kind of stuff, like linking your art to like some kind of gaming factor. Because like I would love to see games do that in the future, where you have an NFT and then you jump into some game, and now you have like a skin of Nyan Cat, or like a little pet that goes with you of Nyan Cat. And I don't know, I just kind of see the technology and gaming and NFT aspect happening like that in the future.
Chris, what is your personal belief when community or people at scale start screaming for utility? Do you feel like when it comes to being an artist, obviously you're an artist who has a pretty great brand. Do you think that the art that's created by the artist is the utility? That there should be something much further than that? To me personally, I believe if an artist is creating something, you're enjoying it for the creation of it and how it looks, what it means to you emotionally, all that great stuff. And there shouldn't be a utility cause. The art that's put into the world is the utility. For the same reason why someone would own a Picasso piece that is a moment of time within history.
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree on that. The art is always going to be the true utility. The stuff I do on top of what I've been building is just like just for fun. Like I'm always just trying to like better myself out there. But like I buy stuff from artists all the time, not even expecting anything in return. Like as long as they're like artists that I can see that they're working out here, working here, like being here every day, showing up, just like being cool people. Like I love to collect that stuff. Like I love to collect for the people. But yeah, I think that's what it is at the end of the day. It's just literally, the art is utility.
You mentioned earlier that the cap is around 3,000. How does one get their hands on one of these NFTs?
Well,
apart from buying it on OpenSea.
which one's the NYAN Cats? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, those I release very sparingly. So, for example, I released lovely NYAN Cat way back in last year of Valentine's Day, but then it took until December for me to release Cowboys. So, I released those at my own, pace. It does take a long time to make them, so I always try to make sure that it's perfect. And sometimes it's like a case where you're drawing and then it looks good, but then you sleep on it and come back and you're like, okay, it needs a few changes. So it's like that. I kind of like fine tune each piece throughout the months, and then I just like unveil it. And then whenever I unveil it, I have like a pre-mint where you can sign up, and then there I do a raffle. So that's kind of how you get a hold of those. Only because I used to just release them all the time, like just throw them out there, and the bots would just take them. And I'm like, I don't like bots, so I formed a system to like find real people. So it's worked out pretty good. But like the NYAN Cats aren't the only thing that I have out there. Like I have some really cool stuff. Like recently did the GI Toads. It's coming to its 1 year anniversary, where me and 16 artists, like including Remplin, Crypto Dick Butts, and a few other people, like we all made some really cool attributes or like backgrounds or traits and stuff like that, and it's pretty fun and animated. And then I have like a photography collection of my cat, and then and then the Genesis, of course. Those are like the highest ones like that I have. I made those right when I began the NFT space, and it includes like the original NYAN Cat, and then I also have a surfing NYAN Cat because I'm a Pokemon fan and I love surfing Pikachu, and then and then I did a NYAN Dogecoin, which did really well. It was back whenever Dogecoin was just first starting to pop off, so I was like so excited for it. And then and then I did a collaboration for with Art Petio with my comics, which were I used to make all these comics way back in like 2000 through 2011 or so, and he kind of like made a really cool rendition of that. And then I did one of Christy Glass, which is like an amazing pixel artist here in the space, and she's making some waves right now. So I'm really proud of her, and I'm really happy that we collaborated on like such a beautiful piece way back in 2021.
I was just about to ask if you've done any other collaborative pieces or similar to, I guess, crossovers, anything like that. Chris, obviously you've done more than one collection. You created more than one, I guess, brand, project, however you want to call this, more than one art piece. Do you find that it's more difficult to navigate and create other pieces through the NYAN brand because usually it's mostly what you're known for, with all due respect, or do you find it to be easier to have, I guess, more traction and more notoriety on these other pieces that you're creating because you are the NYAN creator?
Um, well, it's kind of like a system that I chose for myself. Like I personally want to keep the NYAN Cats in a specific collection all to themselves, and then everything else that I'm doing out here is kind of like an expansion of it in some kind of way. So like with the GI Toads, there's like a cat that looks almost like NYAN Cat that like is angry on somebody's head, or you can have like the rainbow trail or the background. I know a lot of people are like trying to get all the rainbow traits, so like I try to incorporate myself into whatever my next artwork is in sort of a way. So when you look at it, you can go, okay, this is actually created by NYAN Cat because like everything kind of fits in a theme. But yeah, like I try to keep I ultimately always just keep NYAN Cat like close to my heart. So that's always going to be like the collection I like, just truly make sure stays in one place. But like I've done some awesome, really, like collaborations, not just like with artists, but like projects where I like to take whatever character that they're doing. Like for example, like the Grumples. I made a Grumple that had a rainbow coming out of his butt. It was very clear that it was coming out of his butt. That one was really fun. I also did one that was like a pickle. That was like a NYAN pickle. I try to like put my spin on whatever the project is. So like I like to keep it that way so like everybody can still enjoy all the memitude of it. But like yeah, at the end, NYAN Cat's always gonna be like in a little special spot.
All of your artwork, Chris, does it kind of look the same in terms of the pixelation of everything, or do you kind of obviously steer off into other forms of art in terms of aesthetics?
So I try to keep everything very uniform. I actually have this really old program from like 2001 called Macromedia Fireworks, and it's not even called Macromedia Fireworks anymore. It's like Adobe now, and I have like a very specific canvas that I like to use, and I like to challenge myself to make it work within that canvas. So it's like a 50 by 50 canvas sometimes, but like so it's super really small. But yeah, that's kind of how I work with. But it's always like a challenge to try to animate everything, to not just like animate it, but make it look perfectly. So I wouldn't say I mean it looks the same because like everything that I've created, I take like really, I make it important that it's unique. Like for example, the one of one original NYAN Cat NFT. I made a promise that I would never make an NFT that is exactly like this one again. So like this is the purest form of NYAN Cat that exists. And honestly, like looking back, it's awesome that it worked out that way. But since then I've been able to like expand further. So like the NYAN Cat can be in other places, and it's kind of been fun. It's just been really awesome. Like not just making the art, but like you know, I don't know, just challenging myself, and in the process, you get to like make new friends and connections, and it just kind of like whirls together in a pretty good way.
I was looking on the website here, Chris, and I see that you can adopt an official NYAN Cat NFT today. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I've been talking about that. Yeah, the NYAN Cat collection. That's the one I started about 2 years ago, and there's about 26 pieces right now, and each of those have edition sizes. So like there's like a 130 for the first ones, but then they got a little more exclusive after that. So then after that it's like 50-50, and then I did some collaborations. So I did one with Steve Aoki, which had to have a whole new collection made for it, but it was like 100 Steve Aokis, and all the holders of that NFT could claim a free jacket. So that's already expired, but like everybody that participated had a great time, and those jackets are pretty awesome. And then I did one with Snoop Dogg where it's like a whole bunch of like Yan hazy balloons as they're called, and that's pretty fun as well. But those are kind of like the main collection pieces, and I try to theme them to a way that it kind of stays relevant, like kind of like in a legacy kind of way, because like memes come and go, so you can kind of try to invest in drawing in a meme, but if the main meme's popularity dies, then like the NFT for it will just kind of like not be so interesting. So I try to make everything a little timeless so you can like enjoy it no matter what, because I don't know, I'm always like thinking about like Pokemon card mentality and just like how some cards like retain value over time.
Got it. So I got confused because it says adopt an official NYAN Cat. That just means That just means purchase it on OpenSea. Right?
Oh yeah. That's how you gotta like, you have to like say that for the Web2 people, because the moment you say NFT, they're already foaming at the mouth. So you got to be nice about it. You got to be like, hey, would you like to adopt a NYAN Cat? It's just part of the marketing, but I think it's pretty fun.
I got you. Yeah. So I was conflating adopt with buy. I thought there was a separate utility or something through adopting. You could adopt someone else's currently owned NYAN Cat.
Because that's very smart. It's verbiage is super important. I'm glad you said that. Obviously, adopt is more attractive to say than to say purchase or get one. That's really good verbiage. Chris, you mentioned Pokemon. I'm also Pokemon collector myself. I don't have a crazy stash of cards, but I do have some here and there. Nothing too crazy. You probably have a better set than I do. My to my own fault though. I did throw all my cards when I was younger, so that was a huge letdown there. But obviously, Pokemon has managed to stay relevant over time. It is one of the largest grossing franchise throughout history through animation. Obviously, they've maintained relevancy through entertainment, cards, collectibles, conferences, etc., etc. As a creator, Chris, and as an artist as well, and as a brand creator, do you find it is difficult to maintain relevancy? And if not, how do you, in your mind, think you have managed to retain relevancy? Because to me, you have. NYAN was created in 2011, and the evolution of NYAN keeps growing and growing and growing, and the horizon always does seem to broaden for you.
Yeah, like Pokemon has a huge success because they have like memorable characters that like, stand the test of time. Like they made Pikachu the character and everybody knows Pikachu. Like Pikachu is Mickey Mouse tier, I think. So like my kind of branding, I try to keep in that kind of way. I mentioned earlier, I try to like keep everything in the same style. And that's how I like envision my like Disney moment, like my Pokemon moment where like it's a specific brand that looks a very specific way and you can look at it and go, oh, okay, this is by Chris. But yeah, like in terms of relevancy like that, I think NYAN Cat kind of like is its own powerhouse. Like I know in the NFT world everybody's like, oh, NYAN Cat NFTs, but like outside people still don't even know about NFTs, but they know about NYAN Cat. Like I keep hearing stories about kids. I mean, okay, so like in 2011, a lot of people watched that video, but now they're 12 years older and now they have kids of their own. And now they're showing those kids NYAN Cat. Because I've gotten like so many stories of people saying that very same thing, which is just amazing. So like, it's kind of like a word of mouth. Like ultimately, NYAN Cat lives on the internet. It's spread on the internet, and that's how it's shared. But that's I don't know. I think that's just how it remains. A little bit of NYAN Cat's powerhouse, and in the NFT world, I'm just trying to like keep everything in a way that ultimately points to NYAN Cat because NYAN Cat is just my baby, and I don't really want to mess with it, so it's fun doing like fun new things because like I'm not just NYAN Cat guy. Like I'm a G.I. Toads guy. I'm a cat poster guy. I'm just meme poster everywhere. So it's just a little bit of everything that I just do out here, and I just do it for fun.
You've made comparisons, or rather quoted Pokemon several times. I'm also a big Pokemon fan. Any plans on building a Web3 game? I know you mentioned something earlier, but I didn't quite catch it.
If that ever comes to an opportunity where that happens, I'm down for it. Right now, I love just the artwork for it, and I'm not really much of a developer. If I'll be honest, I just have like a really great community of friends that like can help me point me to the right ways of doing things. But like if you were to put me in a room and tell me to like make a contract, I would be like, I don't know what to do. But I can make a mean sprite sheet. But aside from that, like I'm always open to new opportunities. Like I'm not going anywhere. I've been here over 2 years. Like I believe it's one of those if situations. Like I've done so much in the space, not just for me, but like meme creators and other artists, and like now with NYAN Balloon, it's kind of starting a whole new meta of NFTs. So I don't know, like and it's not like an orchestrated thing. I don't know, I'm just like having fun out here and thinking of all different kind of creative ways to like do things. So I don't know, it's just I don't know, kind of like that.
Chris, can you take us through NYAN Balloon and the concept? Obviously, you can't probably share too much because it's still obviously in the works, I do believe. I did, for anyone that's wondering what NYAN Balloon is, I did post Chris's tweet up top that he made literally 20 minutes ago. So you guys feel free to check that out, as well as any links to all the proper open seas so you guys don't get fished. But yeah, Chris, can you please take us through NYAN Balloon and the concept there of, what your vision is for that, what you can tell us, and maybe if you can give us any sneak peeks on things that are up and coming that you're super excited about.
Yeah, sure. So I do want to state first of all, to everybody in the audience, be careful because there's some scammers that are out there trying to do some fake NYAN Balloon drops. So please be careful. I am the main person that I'm the only person that's doing this. I am not DMing people. Please be careful. Because that sucks. Please, please be careful. I mean, we all heard the big news today, and I feel awful about that. But yeah. Anyways, so NYAN Balloon started because it was just like a piece of art that I made maybe a few months after the original NYAN Cat, I wanted to kind of do like a origin story for NYAN Cat, but then I decided not to post it because NYAN Cat was already like breaking ground, and I didn't want to like put a thought into people's imaginations that they already had they already had ideas for what they thought NYAN Cat was. So I was like, I'm just not going to post that. Fast forward to last week, literally last week. This has just been the craziest week. I find this old laptop and I find the picture on it, and I'm like, okay, I want to turn this into an NFT because it's cool, but I didn't want to do a one of one. And around literally like that same day, I found out that Manifold was starting to do the open editions, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna give it a try. So I just put it up, and I priced it super cheap because I was just like, I just want people to have it. Like whoever wants it, go for it. Like I've seen some pretty good success with like people doing claims like that, so I was like, why not? Um, and I priced it for 0.0077, so it was like $10 for three if you wanted, and and then it just like exploded from there. And it ultimately landed on, I believe, 21,000. Yeah, it was about like 21,000 or something like that, which blew my mind because I was not expecting anything more than 10,000. So that was crazy. And but like I was like, hey, this is for you. Like, if anybody wants my art, I would love for you to have it because like I just want you to have it. Like if you want it, it's cool. If you don't, that's fine. Enjoy it. But then I don't know. It was like it just like blew up. It's just huge, and I'm still trying to process it. But like people started showing so much love and support, and like posting all these pictures, all these memes, like dressing up their cats with balloons, like all these things, putting it in their PFPs, and I was like, oh, wow, like everybody loves this. Like people want to continue this. So what I did was I very quickly within the span of like 6 hours I was talking to my team. We were like, what can we do to make this into like a fun game? Because like it wasn't even really a game. It was just like, hey, if you are able, if you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to, you could put your red NYAN balloon in this machine, and then out comes the NYAN balloon of your choice that come like depending on the day. And that kind of evolved a little further, and it turned into what was the sky map. And let me find the sky map because it's pretty important. Actually, I think it's in the pinned tweet above.
It is pinned up top. Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. One thing about having an old phone like I do, that hasn't been updated for like a year, uh, new tweets, like if you do a tweet with like more than one picture, um, like these old versions of the Twitter don't see that. Just letting everybody know. So that's why I was like, I don't know if it's up there. But anyways, yeah, it turned into the sky map where I put a schedule. It's like for 24 hours, you can, if you want to trade your red for an orange, then you have 24 hours to do so. You don't have, there's no like, it's just because you want to, basically. And then I kind of set up a little schedule. So Monday it was orange, and then Tuesday it was yellow, and then today we're actually on green. So like if you wanted to, you can trade your red NYAN balloon for a green one. But then at midnight tonight, the doors close, and then you can trade for a blue one. And then it's just going to continue for the week. Sorry, I had to catch my breath. So yeah, it continues for the week, and Friday's going to be purple, and then Saturday there's going to be a mystery color. I have not revealed any of that information, and I have not revealed the price for it, but it's going to cost more than one red NYAN balloon to be able to get that last one. And I'm doing that because right now all these balloons are being traded for other balloons, but the overall supply is not going down. So this will kind of like kick off the actual burn mechanism for the project.
Chris, I personally love the NYAN Cats and the balloons. I was talking with one of my directors today, the directors of our brand, and he's super attracted to them as well. I think they're just the cutest, funny looking things I've seen in OpenSea in a while. They're so cute that it is so tough not to sweep that entire floor. I think it's fantastic. Saturday obviously is the unrevealed balloon, which is the 28th. This Saturday, 3-4 days from now. Chris, is there anything else you can tell us about that Saturday balloon color? Is there any super feature utility behind it that you can disclose, or is it just kind of obviously priced out differently, as well as it's just another balloon color, or is there something extra unique and special because it hasn't been revealed yet?
So the one big rule that I have for myself for this event is I do not want to actually like interfere. So, like I I just don't want to, I'm not ready to like reveal that information. And then also I'm still like watching how the burn will go. I want to make a fair I want to make a fair judgment by the time it's time to announce the price for it. But like this is such an on like evolving thing. This is so brand new to me and everybody here in the room, obviously, and I just want to be sure it's done right. So I'm hoping that it's gonna all make sense in the end, and I'm hoping that everybody enjoys the last one when it's revealed.
Guys, I'm super excited. It is only 3 more sleeps until the reveal. Chris, where can the audience go to find the new reveal? Where can they keep up to date with all this kind of stuff, with the reveals, etc.?
Yeah, sure. So on my pin tweet above, you will see on the second thread, you can actually see the current claim. Sorry, the burn machine window for the green balloon, and then right under that, you'll see all the other current balloons. And then I did not add the OpenSea link, but I will do that after this after our call. But the official OpenSea just got verified yesterday, which I'm super happy about, and so you'll be able to see the official NYAN balloons that are out there.
Awesome. I just pinned whatever Chris said to the top with all the official links at the end. Noah, Mike's yours.
No, I mean, you're doing great, Andrew Forte. I was gonna say, Chris, if you have an old iPhone and haven't upgraded to the new iOS, don't do it. iOS 16 ruined my phone. I like it. Everything worked perfectly. I had no issues with it. I've had this phone for over 4 years, and I got iOS 16, and it's just crap now. So, smart move, big brain move.
I'm looking to see. So I have, all right. So that's like an 11 Pro Max software version, 14.8, and I haven't like updated anything since then. So
don't touch it.
Yeah, it's like in its purest form right now. And then I can do this. I can do that. I can do this.
Oh wow! Wait, hold on. What the heck? No, I don't have that.
That's a little bit of a flex, Chris. I won't lie.
It's a little bit of a flex. Wow. Yeah, I have an iPhone XS, I think, and I've regretted upgrading to the iOS 15. I think is the best. Like anyway, not to get off track. So for the NYAN balloons, is it the same process, Chris? Do you have to like sign up and get randomly selected for an opportunity to mint? How does that work?
No, so actually my favorite part about this is that the community decides every single step of the way. When I originally launched the red NYAN balloon, I was just like, hey, this is an open claim. It's from 5 p.m. my time to midnight, and when that's over, that's over. So that's what I did, and that's what ended up with the 21,000. And then when I started the game, I told everybody, hey, you have 24 hours to exchange for this orange one if you want to. Like, only do this if you enjoy the orange one. And so users have 24 hours to take a red and get an orange out of it. And then from there, it just kind of changes every single day. And I think I really enjoy that, having the community get to choose how this collection ends. And that's why I'm mentioning that I don't know how this is going to end, because I don't. Like, this is 100% up to whoever decides to put that red NYAN balloon in the machine to get another red NYAN balloon. And honestly, like, this was not meant to be such a complex formula. Like, this was supposed to be just so simple and fun. I mean, and it is, but like it kind of just like evolved deeper, like once the community got a hold of it. And now like you're seeing all these people doing like game theory elements, trying to figure out exactly what's going to happen by the end of the week, which is pretty awesome. Like, this is turning into like a mind game of sorts, which is great.
Do you have a Discord that we can pin up top here, Chris, for anyone that wants to join the Discord or Telegram, whatever it may be? It's kind of off Twitter, off this platform, to kind of, I guess, get involved with the other NYAN community. I keep saying it wrong. I'm saying it for I've been saying it wrong for too long that now it's hard to break that habit. The NYAN community.
First of all, I'm just gonna say it's totally okay if you don't say it right. Nobody gets it right. No, not a single person. Can I see in the audience who thought it was NYAN at any point? Like, just thumbs that up. Anyways, um, yeah, like, so it's fine. And second of all, I actually don't have a Discord. This is only for security purposes. I've seen so many people get hacked, and I just do not want to feel responsible for that kind of stuff. I am a part of also the GI Toads Discord, but I'm in there just chatting every now and then. But ultimately, like, everything that I do, I stick on Twitter, just because I'm always looking out for people, and I'm always like, it would just suck if just things happen like that. So just Twitter for everything that I do for the most part.
Chris, is there anything that you've created? Sorry, my brain is just like fried today. Is there anything that you've created within your greater ecosystem that we haven't asked about that you'd like to share? I do want to open up the floor to some audience questions. I see a few people requesting to come up, but before I do that, I just wanted to know if there's anything that Andrew and I missed.
Yeah, sure. So I love talking about this too. When I first started the NFT space, and the original NYAN Cat, I almost said NYAN Balloon, the original NYAN Cat NFT sold. I was able to. It was kind of like it sent out a beacon to people. Can I get a mic check, by the way? Sorry, it's a little loud. Okay. Anyways, and I was a lot of meme people from the past actually messaged me, like actual OG memes in the internet realm. So like they all had the same story where they were like, "Hey, we also created something that got really huge, and we just don't know what to do." And I was like, "Well, I just did this. Let's make some NFTs." So I was able to help some awesome people like Grumpy Cat, Coffin Dance, Nintendo 64 Kids, Success Kid, and a whole bunch of other like OG memes, which was just huge because like it was awesome being put in a platform where I can help these people. So yeah, like that was like a huge renaissance era for memes, I think, because like every time that one meme sold, it just like made the news instantly, which was great for the NFT space in general. Aside from that, I don't know. I've done so much. Like it really is one of those like if you know you know situations. But like I'm always out here just doing whatever I can to just not only have fun, but like try to make everybody have a good time, and then hopefully everything just betters the NFT space.
Yeah, NYAN does have a strong, very strong track record of breaking the internet and creating virality. This was done last year, I believe, Chris, when NYAN sold for I think it was several hundred thousands of dollars. Correct me if I'm wrong, and that's great to see that people are very very interested in this brand, and it's over 10 years old. Not many brands at scale can say that.
Yeah, I still keep not thinking about it as like a true brand, but yeah, it's totally had its staying power on the internet, which totally surprises me. But like, it just blew up so fast and suddenly. But it's also great just being a part of it because like the NYAN Cat is kind of just internet like the icon, so it's just fun. It's just fun. Like I've always lived with memes. Like I way back in the early '90s, I remember like going to the Hamster Dance website and just like putting it on all my computers. Like that was the NYAN Cat of its day, if you don't know what that is. And like, just I was always into memes. Memes always just like filled my life with joy. So like it's awesome. It's such a great experience that like stuff that I do is in that kind of factor of not just being a meme, but like being able to like make people happy. So I don't know, it's just awesome.
I think through memes we can create culture, and essentially that's what you and the brand a meme have created a culture around NYAN Cat. Chris, I gotta ask, how does it feel to be forever a part of history and such a large part of internet communities and internet history at scale?
It's weird because like if you meet me in person, like I'm an introvert. Like I have three cats and I stay at home. Like I don't really even go out much. So like whenever I go to events, all right, in the real world, I try not to even tell people who I am because like then the conversation is just about that. But but like it was so awesome like in going to NFT NYC and then just like once people knew who I was, people were like, "Oh my gosh, it's you!" And then like getting to meet new friends and stuff that way. It's a great experience, but it's still surreal even to me because like I just never expected any of this to happen. But like I just took charge of my life and I was like, you know what, this is awesome and this is something I want to pursue. So this is why I'm here.
Chris, believe it or not, you are a big deal off of internet communities as well as on it.
Chris, you mentioned the collab with Shiba before. Who are some other artists you've collabed with in the past, and then who are some artists that you haven't yet but would love to in the future?
So I recently did this awesome one with ghosts. There was a NYAN ghost that was just so beautiful, and like everybody loves it. People still consider it as a grail. I can't really remember off the top of my head like other people I've collabed with, but like anybody that I've collabed with is just like I see their hard work in the space, and I know they're good people, and it's awesome working with people that are just like artists, just like me out here, and that's the kind of the stuff I kind of go for. um, in terms of other collabs, there was one person I forgot. I totally forgot her name, but she does these awesome like rainbows that are like super swirly. She does awesome exhibits. I really feel bad forgetting her name, but like she's amazing. I would love to do that because I feel like it's inevitable, right? Like rainbows with rainbows, like it just seems like such a good thing. Aside from oh, you know what? It was Jen Stark. I love Jen Stark stuff. It's so bright, and I see her galleries, and I'm just like, wow, like I want to do that. Like all my stuff is digital, but I want my stuff like in curated galleries where like like her stuff is lining the walls, like her giant rainbows everywhere, and then like my NYAN cats are like in paintings or something like that. That's just something I fantasize. Anyways, Brian Brinkman is also breaking ground in the space. He's an awesome person. I've recently made friends with Food Masku, who does some really cool face art, photography, which is great. And I don't know, it'd be cool to do something there. I'm not sure what, but just collaborating with people that are close to me, that are friends with me, I think is just my way to do it. Like it's not about money, even though it's nice. Like it's about art and it's about reputation for me. And I always try to find people that are trying to do good in the space, not just like that's awesome that there are, but like people that are like changing the space, doing really great community things. Like I love to get involved with that kind of stuff.
Chris, this question is meant to be funny, so I'm just gonna go ahead and ask it. Do your cats IRL ever get jealous of the creation of the NYAN Cat and the attention that it's gotten over the past 10 years?
They better not, because like I can afford cat food for them now. Oh, and actually because of the NYAN Cat NFT sale, I was actually able to adopt two new cats. So I have three cats now because of the NYAN Cat NFT. So they better be grateful, those little monsters. But nah, I mean I spoiled them. I spoiled them badly. And outside of this game that I have accidentally created, like I literally just post cat photos all day. So that is my personality on here, just posting photos of my cat. That she just likes to meow at the food on the table, and I take photos of that, and I say like she want cereal or she want barbecue or whatever I'm eating. But yeah, that's all I do outside from here. I'm just posting cat photos, memes, and just I don't know, just having fun.
Chris, you obviously have a huge passion for cats, art, and community, and NFTs specifically open the door to Web3. What else about this industry intrigues you or excites you apart from NFTs and the potential that they hold?
Right now, I'm really into gaming. The idea of a good gaming experience. If I'll clarify that, like like let's say I'm just gonna throw out Fall Guys because that's like I play that all the time. Let's say you're playing Fall Guys and they introduce NFTs, and then all of a sudden, if you have a NYAN Cat NFT, you can be NYAN Cat as a character. Like that, I don't think we're there yet, but that's what I want. And I feel like I'm hoping that in a few years we'll be able to achieve something like that. I'm that's just how I see everything going out there.
Chris, you obviously see yourself a part of the creators economy, right? And what does the creators economy with NFTs mean for the future of the creators economy within, let's say, the next 5-10 years, when artists can actually monetize their work and get royalties in perpetuity and all that good stuff that can potentially be life saving, their passion. You're finally getting paid for your passion now. What does it mean to you that NFTs are the gateway to the creator economy, as within the immediate future, that we can see right now?
Yeah, I mean, I believe the creator economy is just going to just empower artists and people. It'll put food on the table. It'll make people known. Like nobody, NYAN Cat was huge all over the world, but for 11 years, nobody knew that there was an artist that was behind NYAN Cat. It was literally the week that I dropped that NYAN Cat that all people were like, "Whoa, he's on Twitter!" Like instant like recognition on Twitter on that week. So like that can also happen to artists out there that are doing the same thing. With this new open editions meta that we have going on right now, it gives artists an amazing way to offer like low cost entry into things. And like in the case of NYAN Balloon, it's created one of the wildest communities I've ever experienced. So like it has that kind of potential, and it's so easy now with like the claim pages and the burn pages, and you can just kind of create your own games, which is new, which is so new. Like this is like 2 years ago. I remember, like my main collection is set in a way where you just have to upload a picture and then that's it. It's sealed forever. So like now there's just more flexibility and more fun. And I think this was going to attract a lot of like new artists in the space, and a lot of new collectors too, because their fans are going to come into the NFT space with them, whether they like it or not. And we're just going to see all sorts of new communities blast off, especially again with this open meta thing. I think it's just going to turn everything on its head, and things are just going to get really crazy.
Yeah, I think we start seeing a larger adoption curve when we stop using the word NFTs and Web3. I think that we're really turning people off with using that verbiage and trends over to this kind of another iteration of the internet, or using the word digital collectibles. Chris, obviously, you're a creator, you're an artist, you're fantastic at it. I'm sure there are current creators and artists listening right now. What piece of advice do you have to leave with those people, if they are current creators slash artists in the space, or even someone who wants to get into creating and monetizing their own work? What piece of advice do you have to say to those people out there?
First of all, don't use OpenSea shared front contracts. If you ever want to make NFTs, use something like Manifold. You will have so much trouble with that. I'm not throwing super shade at OpenSea. I'm just trying to help artists out there, because I've seen so many instances where people get stuck on the OpenSea shared front. And other than that, like create art all right, first of all, create art because you enjoy art. Like, do not forget that. Do not ever forget that, because people will beat you down in the space. People will just fud you. Like, it's just going to be awful out here sometimes. You have to create it because you want to create it. And then from there, like, create it in a way that's fun and helps your communities in a way. And also don't fret if things don't sell for a while. Like, I went months at the very beginning not selling anything, and it was just devastating for me. So I get it. And it wasn't until NYAN Balloon that things just like blew off either. And before that, I was grinding really hard. Like, I on Twitter, like nobody really sees all the stuff that goes behind the scenes, but like just use. And that's another thing. Like on Twitter, everybody's all about success and speed and gains and stuff like that, and it's so fast and FOMO inducing. And that, to an artist that is jumping in, it's like trying to jump onto a moving train, which is very, very difficult for starters. And and then like creating your own contracts and stuff like that is a whole nother ball game. But like just keep at it. Like, you don't have to rush anything. You don't have to put out something just because somebody's yelling at you. Like, put it out for you. Stick to your own like true like path, and and hopefully this works out. And I want it to work out, because like I think this place is revolutionary, and artists are totally gonna make a huge hit like once everything goes super mainstream.
Yeah, obviously, it's not all sunshine and rainbows for creators, are artists out there. Not at all. Chris, I'm really surprised that your collection wasn't, I guess, wasn't, how can I say this? It wasn't popular notoriety right off the get go. That is very, very strange for me to hear. Obviously, with the great history that you had. Because I have to ask, so kind of hindsight 2020, what do you feel like was your turn back moment? What do you think was the paradigm shift of when things were kind of flat and were tough, and then when things kind of went up on the upstream as they are now? And what do you think you did differently that kind of caused that? Because I'm sure there are a lot of creators and artists out there that have kind of either plateaued, haven't really gone over the hump, or even kind of taken off yet. What do you feel like for you was that pivotal moment through that journey that kind of got off the hump, and kind of started trending upward, and started seeing success at a large scale, like right now?
Um, I would say it was the moment that I realized that like patience was the most important thing you can have in this space. There's no, no judgment on people like shooting collections all the time, but like if you wanted to kind of make a name for yourself, you kind of have to like release things in a way that like remains true to you, and like and it's something that like you build upon before you go to something else. That's how I've always believed things. And even then, like, you don't move on entirely. You come back, you still have communities that still love you and still want you there. So like you have to find a way where you release things, and like just don't release stuff really fast. Just to release stuff, just release it and let people appreciate it before doing things like that. Like, so don't rush yourself. And I think that's one of the most important things.
Chris, I've been hanging out with my girlfriend's cat through the course of this broadcast, and I think it'd be really cool to turn her into a NYAN Cat someday. Is that a possibility? Are people able to take their cats and take a picture and somehow work with you to spit out a NYAN Cat?
You're more than welcome to have your own iteration. Like if you have a cat, then like put a little cardboard piece of paper on it that looks like a like a breakfast pastry and stuff. Like that's kind of what creates the memes. Like when people make their own little iterations. So yeah, I would love to see that if you come up with something like that.
So there's about 10 minutes left in the broadcast. I want to thank everyone for being here. If you enjoyed what's being talked about, if you enjoyed the work that Chris has done in NYAN Cats, give him a follow, give him some love on his accounts. Give us a follow as well. Well, Coin Talk, the Aquarium, Andrew Forte. Andrew Forte, special thanks to you for putting this together and reaching out to Chris, and personal account Noah as well. Chris, is there anything that Andrew and I haven't asked about so far that you would like to share with us before you leave? Also, for an up and coming artist, let's say that is just getting into the NFT space, what are some words of wisdom? You've already shared some. What are some words of wisdom that you'd give?
Actually, I think you guys like totally nailed this interview. Like, I thank you so much for all the questions, and I think I hope that I covered enough ground. But again, like, there's my Twitter. If, you want to follow me for more updates and all that kind of stuff. And again, to new artists, I think the most important thing, like the truest thing, is just having patience. Don't let the FUD get you down. Don't buy into the FOMOs, and like, if you're an artist, just enjoy creating things, and release stuff that you think is special. And I think like eventually you can evolve to other crazier things. So there's so many possibilities out here in the space for artists. You just kind of like have to kind of understand the system. So definitely like tune into spaces like these. Read tweets as much as you can, learn as much as you can, and eventually the space will make sense, and then you can like understand what to do from there.
Amen. Andrew Forte, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, guys, I also did pin up Chris's other NYAN Cat. It's NYAN.eth, NYANCat.eth. Chris, that's correct. That's the proper one, right?
Yes, I do own NYAN Cat as well, but I'm trying to consolidate everything to NYAN Cat because it still has a animated PFP as well, and it is just a better name. So I do own both of those pages, but the one that I'm trying to make super official for like all the instant updates for things is, well, first my main account, and then NYAN Cat, and then NYAN Cat.
Awesome. Be sure to follow Chris and his brand accounts that we did post up top. And as he did said earlier, all of his brand accounts on OpenSea are verified. So there should not be any mix up between the other ones that are trying to fish and the ones that are truly his.
Oh, I actually have an let me see. I'm gonna make sure it's still there. I actually have a link tree on my actual profile information that has all of my main official collections. So, again, be careful when clicking links out there. But that's kind of my like little portfolio of all the main stuff that I've worked with.
Thank you again, Chris, for joining us today. Andrew Forte, special thanks for again for putting this together. Sorry, guys, it's been a long day. I keep getting a tongue twisted, but remember, everything we hear on these broadcasts is meant for educational purposes only. Nothing's financial advice. If you want to get in touch with Chris, get involved in the NYAN Cat community, Chris seems super willing to help and get you involved. The community seems super open, also super tight knit. So definitely check them out. for now, my name is Noah, signing out. Take care, everyone.